Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're in kind of first chapter 8, text 26, yeah. So you can chant after me. It's there. Janm Aishwarya Shruta Shribhir Naiva Arhati Avidhatum Vai. What was this? Okay, sorry, I just missed. Edhamana Madah Puman Naiva Arhati Avidhatum Vai. Tvam akinchana gocharam. Can anybody repeat? Janmaishwarya Shuddha Shri Janmaishwarya Shuddha Shri Vedamana Madaha Puman Vedamana Madaha Puman Naivarati Avidhatum Vai Naivarati Avidhatum Kinchana Gocharam Janmaishwarya Shuddha Shri Janmaishwarya Shuddha Shri Edhamana Madapuman Edhamana Madapuman Naimarhatya Pidhatum Vai Avidatum Vai Swamakinchana Gocharam Swamakinchana Gocharam. Mataji Sanapati. Janmaishwarya Shuddha Shri Edamana Madapuman Naivarhatya Avidhatum Vai Naivarhatya Avidhatum Vai Tvamakinchana Gocharam Janmaishwarya Shuddha Shri Edamana Madhapuman Naiva Arhati Avidhatu Vai Tvamakinchana Gocharam Janmaishwarya Shuddha Shri what was meaning? Janma, birth. Aishwarya, opulence. Shruta, education. Shribhi, by the possession of beauty. Edhamana, progressively increasing. Madaha, intoxication. Puman, the human being. Na, never. Eva, ever. Arhati, deserves. Avidhatum, to address in feeling. Vai, certainly. Tvam, your. Akinchana gocharam, one who is approached easily by the materially exhausted man. Okay, so translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One is in path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feelings. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Being materially advanced means taking birth in an aristocratic family and possessing great wealth, education, attractive personal beauty. all materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences, and this is known as advancement of material civilization. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. It is said in Shastra that by once uttering the holy name of Lord, the sinner gets rid of a quantity of sins that he is unable to commit. Such is power of uttering the holy name of the Lord. There is not the least exaggeration in this statement. Actually, the Lord's holy name has such powerful potency. But there is a quality to such utterance also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter holy name, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. A materially puffed up person may utter holy name of Lord occasionally, but is incapable of uttering the name in quality. Therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely high parentage, good wealth, high education, attractive beauty, are, so to speak, disqualifications for the progress on path of spiritual advancement. The material covering of pure spirit soul is an external feature, as much as fever is an external feature of unhealthy body. The general process is to decrease the fever and not to aggravate it by maltreatment. Sometimes it is seen that spiritually advanced persons become materially impoverished. This is no discouragement. On the other hand, such impoverishment is a good sign, as much as the falling of temperature is a good sign. Principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material intoxication, which leads one to more and more illusion about aim of life. Grossly illusioned persons are quite unfit for entrance into the kingdom of God. Okay. Om Agyanat Amrindasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Shirudmilitam Yena Tasmaya Shri Gurve Namah Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So this and the next verse, Kunti is telling who can attain Krishna and who cannot. So this is a glorification of Lord. Krishna is standing and she is telling Krishna who can attain you, who cannot attain you. And Kunti is, in other words, glorifying devotion. This might look like a philosophy, but sometimes when you are in front of Krishna, you have to glorify him or his devotees, just like we sing in the morning, Samsara Dava. So we are glorifying his devotees. Or sometimes we glorify his devotion. So people who have devotion, they can attain him. But no devotion, they cannot attain him. And this is what is the underlying principle in these two verses. Kunti is trying to glorify bhakti. Krishna likes to hear the glorification of bhakti than his own glorification. In Gita, see 12th chapter, devotional service. Krishna glorifies his devotional service. Whenever he finds chance, he'll glorify his devotion. Whenever a devotee finds a chance, he'll glorify Bhakti Devi. So that's Kunti Maharani says here, who cannot attain Krishna? Okay, fine, let's see. People who don't have devotion, but who are those people who don't have devotion? Janm Aishwarya Shruti Shribhir Edaman Madhapuman. Kunti Maharani says, people who are proud. Madha means intoxicated, or maybe proud. Madha also means pride. Mad. Just like an elephant, when it drinks wine, it becomes mad. So this mad word is coming from this Madha. See this? M-A-D. Same thing. From Sanskrit comes English. So people who are Madha, they are mad. Mad, and elephant becomes mad, so people become mad. Money can intoxicate your mind. And Janma, high birth, can intoxicate your mind. I am from a very high birth, like Brahmana. If you go to India, Brahmanas are very proud. If you go to Naimisharanya, there is a place Naimisharanya in Uttar Pradesh. There is a place Naimisharanya, where Bhagavatam was spoken, by the way. Naimisharanya forest. If you go there even now, so we went there just for a tour, and there were Brahmanas. And those Brahmanas were telling, see your Vaishnavas, you should touch our feet. We told, that's okay, we can do that. But then they told, they told, but so we told we want to make a college, we want to make an ashram there. So they told, see, if you make an ashram and if you do something wrong here, you try to convert people, we will hang you on the tree upside down, and we will take our shoes, urine in that, and make you drink that. It's funny. They're so proud. They say, you Vaishnavas, you're crazy, you're nothing. We are Brahmanas. That's the point. So it can intoxicate us. Birth. And birth also means spiritual birth. That can also intoxicate us. Second janma, duja. First birth is from mother. Second birth is from spiritual master. Even if you come to spiritual line, that birth, I am a devotee, I am initiated. Sometimes it intoxicates the mind. And we start thinking other people are not devotees, they are lower. Or I am initiated by an advanced guru or Paramaham, something. People have funny ideas, whatever. So it can affect your mind. Aishwarya, opulences, riches can intoxicate us. Riches, money. For pure devotees, that's no problem. Yudhishthira Maharaj, Krishna made him the king of entire world. Sudama, Krishna gave him. Sudama didn't want actually money. He understood, if I have money, the chances of becoming mad, So that's why he was praying to Krishna, Krishna, don't give me money. And that is why he was poor. So people ask, Sudama was so poor, but he was a devotee of Krishna. So Rukmani asked Krishna that he's a devotee, he's suffering. Why didn't you give him money, at least food to eat? But Krishna told, Sudama is praying to me, I want to be poor. Because as soon as money comes, I might become mad, I might forget you in the glamour and charm of money and the things money buys. So he was praying, but nevertheless, Krishna gave him big palace. He went back and he was amazed. Why? Because Krishna knew that he doesn't want that. He will not be affected by that. So that's Aishwarya. Krishna gave Yudhishthira Maharaj whole world because Krishna knew that it will not affect his mind. So to glorify his devotees. So Krishna gives. The rule is you will get those things which you don't want. That's the rule of this material world. Prahlad Maharaj says, what you want, you might get, you might not get. So, and that's devotee life, you see. As a devotee, if you don't want respect, you will get all respect. But if you demand respect, nobody is going to give you respect. Nobody. And as a devotee, we get everything. We get money, we get food, we get shelter. In fact, when I was in my home, 21 years back, I was reading Bhagavatam, I read this verse. And I thought, okay, fine, Krishna will give everything. So, is it true or not? It's a verse. You believe everything, is it true or not? Or it is just something flattery or glories of Lord? And to test whether it's right, to test or to experience, not to test, but to experience, then I left my house. Okay, let's see whether I'll get food or money or not. And since 21 years, no problem. There's food, a lot of food. There's more than whatever is required. There's place to say, there's money, everything is there. So that's the point. If you go towards sun is Krishna, shadow will follow you. Is it? If you're walking towards sun, shadow is behind you. And shadow is going to follow you. But if you go away from sun, shadow is in front of you. And you will never be able to cross that shadow. So similarly, we go away from Krishna, we'll never be able to get anything what we desire. Ultimately, it will be snatched away from you. But if you go towards sun, shadow means everything material will follow you automatically, even if you don't want. Whatever Krishna thinks is good for you, he'll give. So that's Aishwarya, Janma Aishwarya. Shruta means education. Education is, Prabhupada says here, Prabhupada says in the next purport, people think education is advancement, but Prabhupada says in the next verse, advancement of material civilization is a great stumbling block for spiritual advancement. This is a funny statement. If you say material advancement is anartha, material advancement is bad, nobody is going to agree to you. Education is bad. What do you want? You want to send the society? People will beat you. But I said, so I gave a seminar in Dallas University. I told them, see, you're educated, but according to scriptures, you educated fools. Prabhupada said. Because if you don't have knowledge of Krishna, what's the value of your education? That's all. So education can make you proud. And we see many scientists, they don't accept God. The more science you do, the more atheistic you become. Most of the places. So education makes you atheistic, makes you proud, makes you think you know better than devotees. Educated people will not listen to devotees because they think these people have nothing to do, they don't have any understanding. Like that. So they lose opportunity to hear about Krishna because they're hearing material education. And Shrivi. Shrivi means two things. One is wealth and one is beauty. So wealth, already it is mentioned in Aishwarya, that word. But beauty, the more beautiful and handsome you are, the more you forget Krishna, because you try to attract people to yourself and not to Krishna. And that is why there is an injunction in scriptures. When you come to temple, don't become beautiful and come to temple. There is an injunction. Don't wear nice dress. And it's mentioned, don't wear red dress. Red? It's there in Nectar of Devotion. Don't wear red pants, red saris. The red color is very attractive, no? It will attract. Don't put flowers on your hairs or try to become Miss Beauty, and then we do disservice. In ISKCON sometimes it happens. People who are young Matajis, young females, they have no idea, so they dress like that and they come, but the point is that to this service, they're attracting attention from Krishna to them. That is why traditionally, if you see in South and in North India, in Bengal, in Bihar, ladies go to temple, they generally wear white saris. Generally. Because that doesn't attract. And most of them don't do makeups and all these things. They don't do, they're just there. They are unnoticeable. That's a good service. That is one of the service of a devotee, to help others to focus on God. So that's beautiful. That's something beautiful. So that is why if you go to India, these saints, they don't wear clean clothes. You see, most of them, it's not. We wear shining in clean clothes because we are preaching. We are outside. But generally, if they come to temple, it's not so clean. It is shabby. And I used to think, why they are doing like this? Because they don't want to attract attention of people to them. You'll say, okay, fine. Krishna is beautiful. So these things, Jan, Aishwarya, Shruti, Shrivi, 4 things. Kunti says, Edhaman. Edhaman means, man means pride. Edha means increasing. This keeps on increasing your pride. And what Krishna, and then Madaha. When pride overtakes your mind, you become mad. Then you can't listen to good instructions. You're unable to listen. And why Kunti is saying this? Na eva arhati. So arhati, na means not, arhati means deserve. These people do not deserve mercy of God. Krishna can accept a lusty person. Krishna can accept an angry person. Krishna can accept a greedy person. Krishna will never accept a proud person. That he dislikes. That's why Kunti is bringing this point of pride. She doesn't bring the point of lust, anger, greed here in this word. She doesn't tell. She tells mana. That's pride. She doesn't tell kama, krodha, lobha. No. So lust, anger, greed, there are no disqualifications to approach God. Like Jagai Madhaya. But pride is. And that Jiva Goswami also says, that's called as kapat. Kapat, that's the word used. Pride brings duplicity in you. So you're showing yourself what you are not. I am rich, I am this, I am that, but inside you are something else. So that's, Krishna doesn't like that. Krishna doesn't like that kapat. So even in devotional life, Krishna doesn't like pride. You can progressively advance very easily until unless progress will be stopped as soon as we become proud of our efforts. Okay, I am doing efforts to attain Krishna. We have to do efforts. That's perfectly fine. But we should not be proud of the efforts. We should understand that efforts, until unless our efforts are not blessed by Krishna, they are zero. Absolutely zero. We are chanting 16 rounds, but if Krishna doesn't accept a chanting of rounds, it's zero. So we can make flowers like this we are making. So if Krishna doesn't accept, what's the value? So that's the point. A devotee puts efforts, but he gives credits to that efforts to Krishna. For Krishna, I am putting these efforts by your power, by not my power. We are putting efforts in Krishna consciousness. Why? Because we understand it, no? Understanding helps us to put efforts, continuous efforts. And why? From where we got understanding? By knowledge. From where we get knowledge? From scriptures. From where we get scriptures? From Krishna. So Krishna is a source of our efforts. If Krishna was not there, we would have no scriptures. No scriptures, no knowledge. No knowledge, no determination. No determination, no efforts. We can't do that. So Krishna is the cause of all causes. We understand that. And then when we put efforts, then while we are putting efforts, Krishna guides us how to put efforts. Because Prabhupada says, even donkey puts a lot of effort. But he's a donkey, no result. So we can put effort, but if we are not guided by Krishna as super soul and by spiritual master and senior devotees, that's useless. So in that also there is a role of Krishna. And after you offer your efforts to Krishna, Krishna has to accept and bless it. There is also a role of Krishna. So all through, before efforts, while we are doing efforts, and after we are doing efforts, major role is Krishna's role. That is why devotee doesn't become proud of putting his efforts. A devotee might be very scholarly, but he's not proud. Because he understands that scholarliness, all those realizations what we have, those are gifts of Krishna. He can always take it back. Prabhupada says, Punarmushtika bhava. He can again make you a mouse. That's the idea. So we are lions, but we can become lions, but we can again become mouse. So that's the point Kunti Maharani is bringing here. Try to avoid pride. That Krishna dislikes. He doesn't like that. He hates pride. Because that is bad for us. And what happens by pride is, by pride, if you get pride, you become incurable. So lust, anger and greed, they are disease. So you go to doctor. Doctor means devotees. Devotees tell you, Prabhu, you should do this, and you can do and you can cure. But if you have pride, you are incurable because you will not hear the treatment. So devotee will tell you, Prabhu, you should do this. Come on, you're crazy. You don't know anything. So pride makes you incurable. That's the idea. You will not accept the treatment. And that's why Krishna dislikes. There is no hope. And also pride will lead to offenses. Because we'll start thinking, I am a higher devotee and he's lower. And that is why Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, Prabhupada's guru, whenever anybody used to offer him obeisances, he used to offer back. Like Bhaktisiddhanta, Prabhupada's guru, like he doesn't need to offer obeisances back. He deserves all obeisances, but he used to offer back because he said that otherwise I'll become proud. That I am a big sannyasi, I am having so many disciples. He always took care of this fact. Nityanand Prabhu, you can imagine, Nityanand Prabhu, he never allowed anybody to cook for him. You can imagine Nityanand Prabhu, he's God. And he was teaching because Nityanand Prabhu is spiritual master. He's gurus of guru. No, he's the original guru. He's teaching and he's teaching. Pride is so bad. Take care. He didn't allow. Only one person used to cook for him. That is Jahanva. his Shakti, his energy. Nobody was allowed. For Mahaprabhu, people were cooking. When Nityan Prabhu was teaching us, no, be careful, don't cook. In fact, traditionally, if you go, sannyasis, if you go to Madhva Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, even Gaudiya Math, it should happen, it doesn't happen now. But traditionally, sannyasis was supposed to first serve devotees and not take. As a sannyasi, it's very easy to get proud. We might feel, okay, fine, they are pure, they are very elevated, but nobody is immune to illusion. That's one thing we have to keep in mind. Even Bharat Maharaj was way up than millions of sannyasis. Like today's sannyasi, Kali Yuga sannyasis, Kali Yuga brahmacharis like us. So, according to scriptures, nobody is sannyasi, nobody is brahmachari in Kali Yuga. Strict sense, nobody is sannyasi. We can't be sannyasi in mind also. That's the point. Nobody is there. But we take sannyas and brahmachari for preaching, that's all. It's nothing more than that. But the point is that even Bharat Maharaj, who was way up than millions of sannyasi, he fell to Maya. Brahmaji, he came under Maya. Narad Muni, he was put into illusion. You can imagine Narad Muni, who made so many devotees like Prahlad, Dhruv. He's a acharya. But there's an incident where he fell into illusion. Krishna arranged that to show us that no matter how much great you are, even a devotee, you're not immune. So that is why traditionally, and the point is, the more you are up, the more you are actually target of illusion. The more you climb mountain, there are more chances to slip and fall hard. If you're standing on the floor, if you slip, nothing happens. But if you go high and then if you slip, you fracture yourself. So it becomes risky. And Maya is always trying to shoot up, not down. Like new devotees, anyway, it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. But advanced devotees, they are danger to illusion, no? They are danger to Maya. And illusion didn't even leave Haridas Thakur. What to say of that? Maya Devi came to Haridas Thakur to actually make him fall down. But of course, he is Haridas Thakur. So traditionally what used to happen is, sannyasis were supposed to serve devotees before they eat. Sannyasis were supposed to wash their own clothes, not allowed. They were supposed to clean the floor, not brahmacharis. They were not allowed to wear slippers. They were having just 2 pairs of clothes, not allowed to sleep on the bed, floor, and not allowed to actually keep any money. It was very strict. That was traditionally, if you go, that's sannyas. We can't even imagine for that. And if you go for brahmacharis, it's impossible. No, none of us can do what traditional brahmachari life is. But all those rules, regulations were not to suppress, were not to condescend. The rules, regulations were to protect us from pride. Is it? So that we don't become proud. And that's why in ISKCON tradition we have, Prabhupada always said, do humble service. No, Prabhupada said that. So always, we can do service, but we have to find a service which can help us to become humble. That's another thing. So just like you can write books, you can make temples, but you should also do a service which is down to earth, so that you don't forget. And so there was a king in Muslim world. It's a story. So it's a parable. There was a king in Muslim world. He was a devotee of course, Allah, Quran. He had a minister, and that minister was also a very nice devotee of Allah. But then other ministers were envious of that king and this devotee. So they wanted to plot and just get him executed. So what they did was, they complained to this king, see, this your minister, he goes in one room secretly daily, and he sits there for 6 hours and we don't know what he's doing. Probably he's spying, he's hiding some treasure, and he's hiding some serious documents, and he should take care of that. So king called him and he asked him, see what's happening, like you have to give an explanation. So he said, well, I am a devotee and you're a devotee. What's the problem? King said, okay, that's no problem. So then he asked these people, ministers, okay, fine, you do one thing. In the night you break the drawer, break the lock, go inside the room and see what's there. And let's check it out. If there's a treasure, if there's secret documents, I will execute him immediately. So in the night they went inside the room, and to their surprise, that room was empty. And there was just one suitcase there, and they opened the suitcase with expectation it will have jewels and treasures and then we'll execute him. But that suitcase, when they opened, it was having an old pair of clothes, torn slippers, and that's pretty much that much. And they were shocked, and they came embarrassed, nothing. So king asked that devotee, so what's this? He said, daily I go in the room and I wear these clothes, with my old clothes when I was poor, and slippers, to make myself remember what is my original position. This is to make myself remember that, O king, I am in the position of minister by your mercy. Otherwise I was a pauper. That's what he was doing. So we have to do something, not just think. It's very difficult to maintain humbleness if you don't do some actions. Action nourishes emotions. That's a rule. Emotions enthuse actions. Emotions inspire actions, and action nourishes emotions. This is a law. So when you do actions, your emotions will always be safeguarded. So you have to figure out what you can do daily so that we can maintain that humbleness. Accept your regular services. Something you should do. Something you have to figure out what you have to do. Otherwise, history of ISKCON is also not that good. There are many devotees who fell down, we know. So there's history, not in all institutions, not just ISKCON. Madhva, Shri, every institution. If we don't take care, illusion is always there. So that's why Kunti says, Na eva arhati abhidhatum. Arhati means deserve. They don't deserve who are proud mercy of God, because they will not accept it. Tvam akinchana gocharam. Who can actually receive you? Akinchana gocharam. Akinchana means, Prabhupada says, who is materially exhausted, who doesn't have anything. Only he can achieve you. Materially exhausted means that who doesn't have the pride of their possessions. You might have things, but if you think that these are all Krishna's property, then you are as good as having nothing. So then, to be free of pride, Kunti is giving a solution. Akinchana. Akinchana means having nothing. Kinchan in Sanskrit means something, kinchit, and akinchit means nothing. If you add a, something and nothing, becomes reverse. So if we have nothing, so how do we think we have nothing? We have this body. What do you see? What do you do with that? Even if you go naked, you leave everything, you have this body. You have something. But Kunti says, who can achieve you have nothing? So how to do that? Only way we can do this is if we understand everything is Krishna's. There is no other way. Even my soul belongs to Krishna. Even my ego belongs to Him. Even the concept of I belong to Him. Even my free will belongs to Him. If He doesn't want, we will not have free will. So it's all His property. And then we can say we are nothing. We have nothing actually. That is actually Shunyavad, if you want to really, in real sense. That is real Shunyavad. I am devoid of all these things. It's all property of Krishna. In fact, that's the only way we can serve Him. You see, the point is, if you say, this is my thing and I'm offering you Krishna this, Krishna will not accept that. Because it's yours. And you're giving Him. And Krishna will say, well, it is yours and you're giving me. And because you bought it, it is yours, it is of inferior quality. In spiritual world, I have very nice things. Why should I accept your stupid thing, a material thing, a dead thing? And it is impure. Because your consciousness is impure, your things are impure. So Krishna doesn't accept if you give your things to Krishna. Krishna accepts those things, what belongs to him. That's all. So, then what to do? So that's the trick. The trick is, we offer Krishna his things, not our things. So when we buy an apple, then we think this apple is already a property of God. We are just the proprietor. We are just a caretaker of this apple, given by Krishna and offered to Krishna. No? We didn't make the tree, no. It's given by Krishna, offered to him. This body is Krishna, so I'm offering you this. So we are offering Ganges water to Ganges. That's the example given in Bhagavatam. Then Ganges accept that water. We don't take water from tap and offer to Ganges. That's stupidity. What is tap water? Ganges will say, come on, it's all pure water. You are offering impure water. We take Ganges water and offer to Ganges back. So we understand that everything is Krishna's and we are offering him back his own things. And then Krishna will accept it. With that consciousness, if we don't understand that point, then our offering doesn't go to Krishna fully. Doesn't go. And that is why Prabhupada in the purport brings a very important point of feeling. Prabhupada makes this important point of feeling. And actually this word abhidhatum means feeling. Feeling. To address in feeling. So Prabhupada brings this point. People who are proud, they don't have feeling for God. They might have chanting bead, they might be in temple, but you can't have feeling for him. Pride doesn't allow that. Pride will divert your feeling to yourself. That's the problem with pride. And that's where Raghunath Das Goswami says, pride is like donkey's urine. Don't take bath in that. As soon as you become proud, all feelings will come to you, your own self. I am this, I am that, I am that. So you can't invest your feelings to Krishna. And Prabhupada brings this point that people who are materially puffed up, they are incapable of uttering holy name of the Lord, addressing him feelingly. O Govinda, O Krishna. We can chant Hare Krishna, but we will not chant O Krishna, O Hare. Prabhupada says that. Hare Krishna, but we will not chant with feelings. You know what? In Bombay, they had an earthquake. We had an earthquake. And devotees were there and they just ran out of temple and they were chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then earthquake, it was just few minutes and then it stopped. So then other devotees were saying, oh, we pray to Krishna that again this earthquake should come. Because they were chanting with full feelings. And after earthquake is over, they're chanting Hare Krishna, sleeping. That's the problem there. So why this happens? We're chanting, we are feeling sleepy, no mind on chanting. Why? Because we don't have feelings for him. Why we don't have feelings? Because you're proud. So that's how you can know whether you're proud or not. It is very easy to assume we are not proud. I'm a humble devotee. But the test is chanting. If you're chanting and if your mind is fixed on God, that can only happen if you have feelings. And if your mind is not fixed, if your mind is running, you are having sleep, then it means you don't have feelings. If you don't have feelings, you're proud. Somewhere deep in your soul, in your mind, on the bottom layers of your mind, some subconsciousness, there is pride. You have to find that and get that out. But you can't see that, that's a problem. The quality of pride is, it is very expert to hide himself. That's the beauty of pride. Lust cannot hide. Lust doesn't know this art of hiding. Neither anger, neither greed. But pride knows this art. He is a big magician. He's expert in this art and skill. He can hide himself. So we'll not know. We are proud, we'll not know. We'll think we are humble, but we'll not know. So, but by chanting you can know. When you chant, Krishna is like sun. Holy name will go from your ears in your heart. And then it will show you, okay, now this is this. Still you are proud. How it will show you? Because you will have no feelings. Feelings holy name will give, no? We can't produce ourselves. Those are divine feelings. Krishna gives gift. So we'll not be able to make out. So that's why if you don't have feelings in chanting of holy name, what you have to do is, you have to first conclude you're proud. That's pride. And the second thing is, do something to get that pride out. So either ask some devotee, am I proud? Is there any problem? Because others can look at you. We'll not be able to look at ourselves. Or do some action so that your pride goes off. And that's why I was mentioning, we might be doing so many services, and that's good, that is needed for preaching. But you have to do some service for yourself also. Not always for preaching. Because the first person you have to preach is you yourself. What's the point of preaching? Just like I'm giving you lecture. But the first person I'm giving lecture is to myself, not to you all. If I forget this, I'll fall down. So I'm speaking to myself. So in this room there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 audience. Not 4. If I think 4, then it's gone. It's finished. Everything is finished. So that's the idea. And you can preach, you have to find a service for yourself, for your heart. And keep on doing. And so that it makes you remember that you are a pauper, you are not the minister. You are not a devotee. Krishna's mercy, you are obliged Krishna has given you this opportunity to become a devotee. Originally, we are like completely nonsense materialistic person. Somehow Krishna is holding us. He is holding us by his grips. We are ready to run away. We are like that. So, and then we can slowly address him with feelings. So when feelings come, then you can understand where I am advancing. Like this. Then my pride is going down. That's very important. Prabhupada is bringing this point. And Prabhupada is actually bringing the point of, Prabhupada is making an interesting statement, that in Shastras it is said, once uttering of holy name, the sinner gets rid of all sins which he is unable to commit. This we know. If you once commit, if you say Hare Krishna, all sins are destroyed. And Prabhupada says, there is no exaggeration in this statement. Okay, fine. So we are chanting Hare Krishna more than once. So many times. But still we have sins. What to do? Then that statement appears exaggeration, no? And that's what happened. Gopal Chapal and Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur said to Gopal Chapal, he was a scholar. Haridas Thakur said, once chanting can remove all sins. Gopal Chapal said, no, I don't believe this. So many devotees are chanting Hare Krishna and they suffer, so many things are happening. Do you mean to say everybody is free of sins? Do you mean to say we all are free of sins? No, it's not like that. We have sins, otherwise why disease, why so many problems, why our mind is crazy? So this appears to be exaggeration. So Gopal Chapal told it's exaggeration. Haridas Thakur said no. And in 3 days he lost his nose. He got leprosy. So how to understand this? Prabhupada gives a solution. It is not exaggeration. At the same time, it is not applicable to us now. So actually the Lord's holy name has a powerful potency, but there is a quality to such utterance also. Prabhupada gives that key. So yes, if we chant Hare Krishna, all sins are destroyed, but not immediately. That's a trick. So that Prabhupada says, post-dated check. As soon as you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna will give you a document. Okay, this is a document. All your sins are destroyed. Your sign is there. I am also signing. But this document is going to take effect after you have feelings. That's all. It's promised. It is there, but it's a post-dated check. So feelings matter. The more you chant with feelings, the more you get free of sins. Otherwise, it's proportionate. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. It is promised to you, but it will not happen immediately. So you can understand both things. Once chanting destroys all sins, but not immediately. It can happen like that, but not immediately. Krishna will hold it. So although there is an injunction, once chanting holy name destroys all sins, but Krishna holds that effect for our benefit. Because if he destroys all sins immediately, when you don't have feelings, you know what will happen? You'll become more proud. The disease was pride, because of which we don't have feelings. And if Krishna destroys all sins immediately, you become more proud. I am pure. So that's the problem. So he withholds this effect. This effect is perfectly correct. Once chanting Hare Krishna, you liberate it. But he withholds it for a benefit. And slowly he will give this effect as you have feelings and you become humble. That's explanation by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his book Madhurya Katamni. His contradiction explains. And Prabhupada, you don't need to read that book. Prabhupada says here, it depends on quality of feelings. It depends on quality of utterance, feelings. And that's this verse all about. The beautiful verse. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. Any questions? I just finish here. Okay. So we're gonna go wireless then. Yeah.
Thanks for those. So I was just thinking, you're talking about the feelings, and one time Shruti Kirti Guru, who was Prabhupada's servant, and at the time they were in New Dwarka in Los Angeles or somewhere, and all the devotees were feelingly greeting Srila Prabhupada, and some were crying and tears, lots of high emotions. And then later on, Shruti Kirti Prabhu asked Prabhupada about that. He was saying that all of these devotees, they have so much love for you, Prabhupada, but I don't. And they express so much feeling and tears and this and that, but I don't do that. And then Prabhupada said, well, do you like serving me? Something like that. And he said, oh yes, Prabhupada, I love that. And because Shruti Kirti was saying, oh, I don't have any love, And then Prabhupada said, well, so if you like serving me, well then that is love. So many times we'll see an external show of feelings that could be.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When we talk of feelings, it is, of course, spiritual feelings are not material. So you're right. Feelings is not just tears and crying, and that's not feelings. In Bhagavatam it is said, in that verse I was mentioning, Hirdayam Batetam, that verse Sukadeva Goswami says exactly this point. He says a devotee can cry, can faint, can have shivering in his body, but if he doesn't have service attitude, then you should conclude his heart is made of stone. So that's what the point he's bringing. So feelings in spiritual life is just linked to service. That's all. But it doesn't mean that tears have no value. So that Bhaktivedanta Thakur gives an example. If you take a monkey, and if you a female monkey, and if you decorate it, will it look beautiful or laughing stock? Put lipstick and so, and then Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, if you take a dead body of a female, and you take it to beauty parlor and make it beautiful, will it look beautiful? It will become more horrible. You'll become fearful. What happened? So that's the point. The life of feelings is service. But if the female is alive, and then you decorate her, that's more beautiful. So with service attitude, crying and the symptoms of devotion, they add to it. In fact, Krishna says, this is the wealth of devotees, tears and shivering. This is a dress. When Ramanand Rai, he is discussing with Mahaprabhu says, a Vaishnav should always be dressed, nicely dressed. And then Mahaprabhu says, by that I mean that he should always, whenever he sees Krishna, he should always have tears in his eyes and shivering in his body. That's dress. And Krishna likes to see dressed devotees. We should not be naked in front of Krishna. We are all naked in one sense. But that will it's only good when you're alive. And a heart devoid of service, it is dead. It is dead. So that adds to value when there's service attitude. And that's what is Prabhupada. Feelings means service. And then other things. That's how we explain that. So interesting analogy. So, pretty much. That's fine. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.